Hey YouTube, Qualia here, bringing you all an update to my Cardfight Vanguard Maelstrom deck profile for October 2025. Big thanks to my buddy Nick for letting me borrow his Maelstrom deck for the video. We got a new promo in the October-November monthly promo packs, so I figured an update was due to the Aquaforce Maelstrom deck. Definitely one of the fan favorite encounter decks, and just with the power that we received from set 6 for Glory Maelstrom, making it all the more powerful of a deck. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and start off with the actual ride deck. Starting off, we have the energy generator, with our starter being Officer Cadet Eric when rode upon. If you went second, draw a card. Our grade 1 is Tier Knight Theo. When it's rode upon by a unit with only Aquaforce for its clan, search your deck for up to one Blue Storm Armada card, reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle the deck. So more search power depending on the card we need to search as well. But the main one we'll search out, obviously, is Judgment Maelstrom, our Blue Storm Armada order to use. Our grade 2 is Marine General of the Restless Tides Algos. When rode upon by a unit with only Aquaforce for its clan, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to one unit card with only Aquaforce for its clan, or a tier dragon from among them, call it to rearguard, and shuffle the deck. So once again, just more setup thanks to a grade 2, and then being able to have that added resource to make use of as well with this card. And lastly, for the ride deck, our Blue Storm Supreme Dragon Glory Maelstrom. We're running this because we have other units in the deck that can set up the grade 3 Maelstrom in the soul all the faster. So better to just start off on the actual unit itself and then set up the other Maelstrom in the soul. Before we get to the other grade 3s, I figured we'd go over the actual important order in the deck, which is Judgment Maelstrom, a set order. You play it if you have a Vanguard with Maelstrom and its card name. When it's put into the order zone, activate all the effects below. Ship to one unit card with only Aquaforce for its clan or tier dragon from your drop. Call it to rearguard. Choose one of your rearguards and it gets plus 5,000 until end of turn for each other Judgment Maelstrom in your order zone. So more power, the more Judgment Maelstroms we set up as well. So just a very useful order to make use of in the deck. And then additional grade 3s include the 3 additional copies of Glory Maelstrom. On the Vanguard circle during your turn, if your rearguard or soul has a Blue Storm Dragon Maelstrom, this card gets all of their act abilities, and all your front row get plus 5 for each Blue Storm Armada in your order zone, so all the stronger as well. Also just having Maelstrom on your rearguard circle as well for the added setup to be able to do so. So it doesn't even have to be in the soul, it can even just be on the rearguard circle, so that's why it also pays to have Glory Maelstrom just as the starting Vanguard. And when your Blue Storm Dragon Maelstrom attacks a Vanguard until the end of turn, with this card having that added Vanguard option for your Vanguard, it gets plus 5,000 if it's the 4th battle of this turn or more. Draw a card, choose one of your opponent's rearguards, and retire it. So just having your Maelstrom attack on the rearguard, thanks to this card as well, gives you the added power. And on Vanguard, when your unit with Maelstrom and its card attacks, you can rest 2 Blue Storm Armadas in your order zone, and your opponent cannot call sentinels from the hand of the guard circle till the end of that battle, having the same kind of restrictions that the original Glory Maelstrom had for this unit as well. All just coming down to being able to make full use of all 4 of the orders with the rest power to then be able to have 2 Maelstroms have a guard restriction with their attacks. We're also running the additional 4 copies of Blue Storm Dragon Maelstrom on the additional grade 3 to run, just having the additional power that this rearguard can provide on the rearguard circles as well, just to give the Glory Maelstrom that added power as well. And then being able to have the act abilities of the Maelstroms as well. So with that act ability, you can discard a card from your hand, choose a unit card with only Aquaforce for its clan or tier dragon from your soul, call it to rearguard, and it gets, when this unit attacks your opponent's Vanguard's grade 3 or greater, and it is the first battle of that turn, count +1, stand this unit until the end of that turn, and then put it into the soul. So then we can use cards from our soul as well, like our Algos, having the additional rearguard ability of when it attacks, if it's the 4th battle of this turn or more, and you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Maelstrom in its card name, it gets plus 5,000, and drawing a card after it, it's a Vanguard. So added pressure for the cards we could potentially call out. We're also running the 3 copies of the Blue Artillery Dragon Inlet Pulse Dragon, having the added put into soul. Draw a card power if the total number of attacks this turn was 4 or more. So just a great put into soul to also build up the soul to be able to use also. For the grade 2s, 3 copies of Tier Knight Alcrinus. Now we run 3 of this because setting up the Maelstrom in the soul can help just for the added act abilities for Glory, but having it on the rear guard can be just as good. So that's why we only have the 3 of copies of this card, having a search for the top 7 cards of a deck for a Maelstrom card, being able to only count as an Aquaforce as well. If we have a Vanguard with only Aquaforce, making it so we can search it out as an Aquaforce card with some of our other cards. And on the rear guard, at the end of the battle, as you attacked, if you have a grade 3 Vanguard with Maelstrom, it's card name, counterblast 1, choose one of your rear guards and swap positions with that unit, which can help with the multiple attacks we also need to do in this deck also. And 2 copies of Flow Strike Brave Shooter from the back row rear guard. At the end of the battle, your other rear guard in the same column as this one attacked. If you have a Vanguard with Maelstrom, it's card name, counterblast 1, choose one of your other rear guards and swap positions with that unit, and it gets +5 for each Blue Storm Armada in your order zone, making it a potential 20k boost if you have all 4 of the orders set up. The 2 copies of Tidal Assault as well. When it attacks, Soul Blast 1, choose one of your Vanguards with Maelstrom, and it gets +5 to the end of that battle, so just making our Vanguard all the more difficult to guard against with its guard restriction. And then after the end of the battle this unit attacked, if it is the second battle and you have a stood Vanguard with Maelstrom, you can counterblast 1 and stand this unit. So you just have to be wary of how many counterblasts to use with this deck as well, but Tidal Assault having that restand power also helps for the deck. For our grade 1s, our new promo, which we're running 4 copies of, is Undulate Assault. If you have a Vanguard with only Aquaforce for its clan, this card is only treated as Aquaforce, so making it another searchable card in the deck. And from the drop, when your Blue Storm Armada is played from hand and put into the Ore Zone, Energy Blast 3, call this card to rear guard, giving you another grade 1 setup, just with the use of Energy Blast. And when this unit boosts a grade 3 Vanguard with Maelstrom, its card name, it gets +2000 to the end of that battle. And then you can Soul Blast 1 and choose 2 of your other rear guards and swap their position. So being able to use the Soul Blast instead of Counter Blast to swap some of our rear guards can definitely come in handy as well, to not have to eat up those Counter Blasts. We can just stick to using Undulate Assault for a Soul Blast 1. And then also having the same Soul Blast option in the form of Wheel Assault. At the end of the battle, boosted if you have a Vanguard with Maelstrom, Soul Blast 1, choose 2 rear guards and swap their positions. Lower down the numbers because Undulate Assault can just be called out with an Energy Blast and do the same play just as easily. With the other grade 1s being 2 copies of Dancing Cutlass. From the drop, you can remove 2 cards with this card of the same name and countercharge 1. And when it's discarded from the hand during the ride phase or main phase, Energy Blast 3 and draw a card. It's really the only deck you can play it with, since you have to have a Vanguard with only 1 clan and your G zone having no cards. So you can't run it in Night Rose, but still does just as fine in the Maelstrom deck. If you want to try increasing the numbers of the Dancing Cutlass that you run in the deck, you can try taking out the Flow Strike Brave Shooters for additional copies of this card, or even mix around your numbers of Wheel Assault for this final spot as well, with the last of the grade 1s just being the 4 Sentinels, Honeycomb Theorius. You can run Elementaria in this spot also, if you wish, just for 1 additional Sentinel spot, with our trigger lineup being the 8 critical. It's just all the more pressure with Glory Maelstrom to have 8 critical, and then the guard restriction. The additional fronts being 3 Frenzied Airs, just to power up the front row even more, along with our Persona Ride. The 4 heals being the Cheery Support Elf, just running the generics. And then our Overtrigger being the Bless Favor for the heal, and once again, more power to the front row option. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoy. Once again, big thanks to my buddy Nick for letting me borrow the deck for the update. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And Kira Qualia out.